Assalamu alaikum and very good evening to all my friends from all the countries. I hope everyone is fine and happy by Almighty of Allah. Welcome to my new podcast, The Pathfinder, and this is me, your host Farheen Lodi. This is the first episode, and today our episode topic is why success, clarity, without leads to burn. In this podcast, we have a guest speaker as well, and my guest speaker is Dr. Ghazala Khan is with me. Dr. Ghazala is a human-centered leadership and sustainable success strategist with over 20 years of experience across finance, entrepreneurship, leadership development, gender equality, and organizational transformation. She holds a PhD in gender and human rights and work is many national and international across South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. Dr. Ghazala, also a founder of Next Generation Leader, she helped leaders and organizations build clarity, strengthen leadership capacity, and create the sustainable growth through human-centered system and transformational leadership. I welcome you, Dr. Ghazala, and thank you so much you are having here. It's an honor to me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure, always pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghazala. You always motivate me and appreciate me like all my work. So let's we start the topic. Why success without clarity leads to burn. This is very important topic, I think so. But me and my audience know about you and your story. As you, Ghazala, can you tell me about yourself, your journey? How did you start your work? As which is like commendable nowadays.
Thank you so much again for having me. My journey is a bit diverse, starting from finance, banking sector, financial analysis, and then slowly and steadily, I got interested in understanding the people because for success it is important that what is your social circle, how people behave, how they respond. It make the process easy. Then it leads me toward the woman entrepreneurship, leadership, and making the thing clear and easy for the others. So now I am working as a human-centered leadership strategist. I help organizations and peoples and employees that who are looking for the clarity, who wants to bring ease and clarity in the complex systems. So that's all what I'm doing nowadays.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Dr. Ghazala, you have worked finance, entrepreneurship, human rights, and leadership. How did these experiences shape your perspective?
Mm-hmm. I work in different organizations. So, with the passage of time, when I was working in the finance sector and the business sector slowly and steadily, it developed my interest toward understanding. Mostly during when there was an era, Pakistan is more prone to the Talibanization, and there are a lot of women who were coming into the woman empowerment, and that sparks a debate that why women are into the business are doing something. So that led me toward the research work. I contacted once chamber in Peshawar and got the opportunity to interview women who are from the tribal or the rural areas, but they are into the business and they are trying to find bread for their own and for their kids. So when I learned from that and I understand that because losing their breadwinner, male member, it led them or it pushed them to come into the business and woman empowerment. And definitely once you come into the business and you come into the sales and marketing, so there are a lot of things you need to work on them. Uh, that is the way which paved the path toward my research work to coming into the leadership and human-centered leadership, because you know that artificial intelligence are having the skills is one thing, but if you don't have the clarity and if you don't appreciate your people as a human, because at the end they are people, they are not machines. So you need to understand their feelings. So working with them, taking them as a human, and also complementing their work with the artificial intelligence is really really important for me.
Very
So
important nowadays.
that's how I blend all of these things. Yes.
It's wonderful. I think it's a suggestion for everyone who send AI or technology is very important nowadays and future as well. So, Dr. Ghazala, what are the biggest leadership mistake you see people making?
Mhm. I think clarity is really, really important. Once you have clarity about yourself, self awareness really important. Like you cannot just get up and say that, yeah, I'm the leader and I'm leading the um, a company, or I am the person. Like if the manager just say that yes he is a leader, so it's not possible. He needs to work on himself to understand about himself. The self awareness really important. Then understanding the environment, understanding the people, their behavior, the community or the team with whom they are working is really important for the leadership. So once you understand yourself and you get the clarity, it's easy for you to go to your goal. What is your goal? Like what is your mission? For example, you need to know about like who I am and what I want to do, where I want to be in the next 5 or 10 years. So it
Yeah.
makes easy the decision making process for everyone and for himself too. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yes. Nice advice. And clarity is really nice. Clarity is most important for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Leadership skills are really important, but it comes with the understanding and with the passage of time when you work on yourself. Right? It's not the thing
To
which
work
you
on
can
it.
just read from the course or from the syllabus and get admission in the something and that say, yes, now I am a leader. But you need to work on yourself too. Once you are aware, self awareness really important for that.
Okay. So, Dr. Fazala, you are also working in human and gender equality, human rights and gender equality. So, definitely there are so many women also you work on it, on them, right? So, what is
Mhm.
the specialty to work on it and how you can see women in this scenario?
Oh, uh, you know, women don't have lack of capability. They are capable and they are more resilient. They are more understandable. They are more passionate. The what is lacking the mentorship, um, confidence on their own self, and also support of the society, because there are more lag puller than the persons who push you. So that's the thing which is I think that in gender equality or gender equity is really really important. Everyone should have the equal opportunity, equal portion of plate, equal portion of food. Like once I look into my own community and even around the world, women are just lacking because of their confidence. They are self-doubting, into your self-doubting. They doubt more on their own self. That's the reason. Otherwise, I think they can do wonders.
So, how can organization create environments where women can thrive and lead?
Hmm. That's a good question. I think now, with the passage of time, there are more awareness about gender responsiveness and gender uh, friendly environments in around the world, but still need to work more on that. Like organization has to bring an environment in their own settings, which is first of all ethical, human friendly, and women friendly, because there is difference between the needs and the duties and the rights of women. So women has more duties than you can say the male counterpart, because one male counterpart is in the office, so he is just in the office. But when women is in the office, so she is not only in the office, a lot of things are running in the back of her mind. Like she was maybe thinking that she just dropped the kid to the school and she has to pick them, or
Right.
someone has to pick them, so she has to guide them, that the driver that go and pick him on the time, and then
She
make
granted
it
many
sure,
responsibilities.
yeah, to make it sure that the kid is at home and he is safe and sound. He is working his own task and everything. He is comfortable. So that's because being a mother and being a generation maker, what can say, because she is the generation maker. She is in her own skin. She is leader at home. You know that you cannot say that woman is just a housewife, or she is just working house chores, but she is house chores, but she is at the same time helping our molding in the making of the new generations. And if she has 2 or 3 kids, so it means she is at the same time 3 generations are uh, under her supervision. So that's why women has more leadership qualities than men. It's my
So,
opinion. Yeah.
it's your opinion. It's very nice opinion. I think so. Uh, it's a real time opinion for every woman, right? So, Dr. Ghazala, I would like to know about in the middle of the conversation, like professional conversation. I want to know about your childhood,
Mhm.
your childhood journey,
uh,
your college, your university.
my childhood was really, really very pleasant. I'm the eldest and first and one daughter of my parents, and I have 4 brothers. So they are younger
MashaAllah.
than me, so I'm the one and only daughter. So I got the liberty of that, and I got the privilege of that. So my father, I had always a very good friendly relationship with my father, and he was very supportive till now. Like he supported me just like a friend whenever I had an like he is the one to whom I went always. So it has been now 2 years. He's no more, but still I feel his blessings. Yeah. So my both parents are really very supportive for me in my case. So whatever I learned, I achieved just because of their support. I did my FSC, just like the all girls in Pakistan doing the medical. But after that, like we have the group of friends, so we said let's try the commerce, and maybe like you can say that 30 years before. So I did my Bachelor of Commerce from Lahore, and then my father transferred to Swat, so KP, because he was working in Water and Development Authority, Water and Power. Then there, at that moment, there were no higher studies for women. Like there was no college or university for women in Swat. Now there are a lot of opportunities there. Then I got moved to Peshawar and I joined Peshawar University for my masters. I did commerce. I studied further commerce there, and my major was accounts. And after that, I joined a banking industry. I worked there, and slowly and steadily, when I came abroad, then I started working on women empowerment because during the COVID. Like everything needs a a kick. So my kick was during the COVID, when every businesses were shutting down and the peoples were laid off from their offices, from their jobs. Then I started working that why people mostly move toward the businesses instead of having jobs, or why women um, has to do that. Because once you are laid off from your business, your jobs, sorry, then it's really difficult to come back into again the same stream. And women has to in their life, sometimes in their career, they have to leave their jobs for the sake of their kids, or for the sake of their um, parents, or maybe who need support at home. So that's the reason, as it molds my life slowly and steadily.
It's really impressive and inspirational story of your life story. And definitely, if parents are supportive, so people like became like you. Impressive for everyone, example for everyone. So, with Dr. Fazala, role does mindset play the entrepreneurial success?
For entrepreneurial success, yeah, it's really an interesting question. Mindset is really important. Whenever we plan to go somewhere, I'll just start with an example. Like if I want to visit some mall and I have to do some shopping, so before that I make a list. I made a map in my mind that okay, first I will go and park my car and find the suitable place, and then visit to one shop or another shop, or how much is my budget and how much I have to spend there, what is my special need and requirement. So just jumping in blindly into the business is a big mistake. People think that you learn with the passage of time, but yes, at the cost of your time, at the cost of your money, which is wasted. So I think jumping into anything, even it is a career or it is a business, you should have some mentorship. You should learn some from your mentor, that at least you should map out what what is first, what is next, what will be in the next
What
6 months,
you
what I'm going
want
to.
to
Yeah, so for entrepreneurship, first you have to map out that what are your resources. As I said, that clarity is really important. So once you bring your clarity, that what you want to do, but along with that, that what the society needs, what is the social need. Because I'm more fan of the social entrepreneurship instead of that what you want. The social entrepreneurship is the thing, like what the society is lacking, what the society wants, what are the gaps which where you can help out. So you want, so it is the give and take two-way process. You understand the needs, you understand the requirements of the people, and you understand the need of wish and need, right? So it's like sometimes we buy clothes just for nothing, but there are some ladies, maybe professional ladies, who are looking for the special wardrobe, which is the blend of east and west. It is just for an example. So if you think that yes, there is a gap in the industry, there are a lot of clothes, a lot of brands, but there is one specific group who are interested into the east and west blends, and maybe they are looking for modest clothes, but still it gives you a very professional look. So like you niche down your product. You got your niche, you make it really really funnel it down. So once you funnel it down and you have the clarity, then I think sky is not the limit. You can do wonders and your business will work too.
Okay, if I sum up your whole conversation about the mindset and entrepreneurial success, it's mean we must know about where we are standing, right? Where we are standing,
Yeah,
this is the clarity to start anything else.
that's
Thank
right.
you so much,
Mindset is really
Dr.
important.
Fazala. Mindset is really important. What actually you want. Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Fazala, let me talk about climate and gender social impact. So, how do you climate change and gender inequality intersect?
It's really near to my heart because I'm working on that. I started in COP 28. So during that, I presented my idea about like the how climate change has impacts on women, And that surprisingly women are more affected because of that. Like women in the rural areas are in the even the urban areas. If someone is displaced, they have a lot of things like mental pressure is one thing. The second thing is taking care of your family during this vulnerable time, floods, taking care of your health, hygiene, and even during your menstrual cycle. It makes more difficult for women and girls. So during our research or the others' research, I found that there are hundreds of dropouts of girls from the schools just because of that displacements, that floods. So that's why I think that women are more directly affected because of this climate change. And that's why for climate change, gender responsiveness is really important. There must be more space and more. We should be more vocal about the gender displacement or gender problem in the climate change. And
Right.
recently, I also presented my framework in the uh, Paris Climate Committee, and I collaborated with the United Nations University Vienna and with the Avena Foundation, and I presented my framework where I focused on 5 points that how women entrepreneurs who are into agricultural business or waste management are the thing which any business which is climate friendly are giving something to the climate, so how they can get climate financing to expand their business, to get mentorship, to get collaboration, and to get assistance from the national and international organizations. So that's what I think need to
It's
address.
really interesting for me, and may Allah give you more success, more success. Ameen, Ameen, and Ameen. So, why is inclusive in leadership essential for sustainable development?
For sustainable development, I think human-centered and inclusive leadership really important because without keeping in mind these players, it's not easy to get the exact goal, exact target, whatever we want to achieve. Without this, it is just playing like blindly and without getting the goal, whatever you want. So that's why inclusiveness is really important in the leadership. Uh, Keeping in mind all the things, all the stakeholders, all the partners, and all the members of the society which get benefit from that. It make a very good network and chain so that people can get benefit of that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khazama, for such a full conversation, me and also audience as well. So let's we jump on a personal growth about, right? So let me know what advice will you give someone who feels overwhelmed and uncertain about their future?
My advice is that don't jump into a lot of things or don't jump into the conclusion. I'll again give you an example of an engineer. Like when you plan to make a house, you first hire an engineer, and um, before hiring the engineer, you have the land, right? So you tell him that this is the land, and I want this type of house. I want this type. How many rooms? Where should be the bathroom? Where should be the entrance? So you engineered it, map it out. Same with the your life. Sit calmly and think about that. Make it clear that who I am, where I want to go, what is my goal, what is my calling, and why I am here in the world. So, if you are clear with these questions, you can map out where you want to go. Then take baby step one by one. Just don't jump that you want to be a billionaire, you want to be a millionaire. Success comes from the clarity, success comes from the openness and willingness to work for the betterment of the society. So that will be my message, that no need to be mm, like no need to be in rush, but be open about that what you want to be.
Nice, thank you. Great advices. But now, what I'm asking, it's really, really nice, and I like this question. I would like to know about you, and I'll. What does a balanced and meaningful life look like you?
Uh, Balanced and meaningful life means that it has nothing to do with the, I think, how much money you are earning, or what is your lifestyle, or uh, how much branding things you have. I think the meaningful and balanced life is that you are clear what you are doing, you are happy, you are satisfied at the end, and second is that positions doesn't matter. It matters that how much groomed you are with the passage of time, and
Very
what
important.
are you now, what you become, what you were 10 or 20 years before, and what you become. So maturity is maturity, and understanding the life, and fully being present in the moment is really important. Because if you don't present in your the moment in which you are, and you're just thinking of the past or thinking of about the future, so you lost also your present, and you couldn't get time to enjoy the moment. So I think being in the present moment is really important, and that is the balanced life.
It's a very wonderful, I mean, amazing advice for everyone, like a balanced life like you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghazala. If you could leave listeners with some one message, it would be what it would be
ah
for my audience.
um, for the audience, I would like to tell them that be consistent, be resilient, and when you are focused and slow and steadily working, then you definitely achieve your goal, and you are satisfied. Uh, don't rush, don't do jump into each and everything. Just be focused.
Dr. Ghazala, thank you so very much once again for your precious time you give me and share wonderful experiences, case studies, and fruitful conversation for me and my audience. Thank you so once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Thank you. Now, viewers, you are watching the Pathfinder with Farheen Lodi and with guest speaker Dr. Ghazala Khan. And thanks once again, Dr. Ghazala. And please join me each week if you want to share your story, if you want to discuss about any kind of topic for the inspirational for everyone. So join me. Thank you so much. See you in the next week. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of your family, your surrounding, and your country as well. Love is. Bye bye.
Hafiz.